If you're an appliance repair business owner out there running calls all day and still wondering where the money goes, pay attention, because this is for you. You're not lazy, you're not doing bad work, but if you don't know your numbers, you can stay busy forever and still feel broke. My name is Mike, and I'm the CEO of Appliance Marketing Pros. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to use our free cost of doing business calculator step by step. I'll tell you the 5 numbers you need to gather, where to get them, and then we're going to plug in a real world example so you can see your true cost per service call in black and white. Once you know that number, you can stop guessing on your pricing, because you'll know exactly what it costs you to start your truck and roll out to a customer's house. Let's get started. Now, before we fill anything out, there's 5 things that you're going to need. And ideally, these numbers would be for a full past 12 months. You can do 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, whatever you want, but a full 12 months is going to give you the most accurate picture. And those 5 things are your total overhead. This could be your office payroll, your admin payroll, software subscriptions, insurance, marketing, etc. All your overhead. This does not include labor in that number. Your total fully burdened tech labor. If you're a one-man show, that's going to be what you make out of the company. So for a large company, this would be your total payroll. This includes your CSR, any techs that you have, etc., including bonuses, commissions, things like that. The next thing you're going to need is your total vehicle costs. This could be your truck payment, your van payment, fuel, maintenance, and your insurance. You want the total number that your vehicles cost you. And the next thing, number 4, is total completed service calls during that period. So if you're going to put 12 months in for the past 12 months, you need to know exactly how many service calls you actually completed and invoiced. This is not how many you've scheduled. This is how many that you've gone to the customer's home, you've completed the repairs, and you sent them the invoice. And number 5 are your average hours per service call. These are the total hours that it takes you on average to drive to the customer's home, to actually work on the appliance and wrap everything up, do your invoicing, all that good stuff, any documentation that you need to do. Usually, roughly, it's about an hour and a half. So make sure that you know those numbers before we go into the calculator, because you need all of this data so that you can put it in there properly. Now let's put in some example data. Go to appliancemarketingpros.com/CODB to access the calculator. And we'll put in some numbers. I'll show you some examples. Let's get started. All right, here we are at the cost of doing business calculator. And here's the scenario I want to walk you through that we're going to use for this example. It's very common in a lot of people that I talk to, service business owners that reach out to us for marketing. They're doing a little less than what they should be. So let's walk through a realistic one-man appliance repair business doing roughly about, say, $120K a year. But he still feels like he's barely making it ahead. This is going to help you understand why you're not making the money that you should. So the first thing we're going to do is select how many months worth of data that you're going to put in here as an example. I suggest a full year, 12 months. I would do literally the last 12 months. Don't do the previous year or anything. Just do the last full month, 12 months back. And then you're going to enter in your service call fee. And in this example, I'm going to put in $99. As an average, I've seen as low as $65 from some people all the way up to $180 for their service call fee. So, but this will be a good average. Now, the next one is your target profit margin for a service call fee. Now, you'll see in here we've got 0 to 50% in 5% increments. I suggest keeping probably at least maybe about 10%. Okay, 50% is going to drastically increase what you should have as your service call fee, but 10% will give you enough of a margin to where you're still making money if you go to someone's home and you end up making that a walk and not selling the job. So then you're going to have your total overhead for the past 12 months. If you were to choose 8 months, it's literally going to tell you 8 months here. Okay, so in our example, we're doing 12 months. And then you'll see I'm going to enter 42,000. And then for our total fully burdened tech labor, for a one-man shop, you can use this as your pay for doing the work. How much did you make in the business? And in this example, we'll say 50% of the money you're keeping at a $120,000 business range. So we're going to use 60,000. And as I said before, your average hours per service call, if you set this at 1, that's not how long you're actually at the house. It includes your travel time. So everybody's usually a good hour and a half. You can click and adjust this as needed based on your specific situation. But if you're not sure what this number is, go with an hour and a half, and then you'll be pretty safe. So then we're going to do 18,000 for our total vehicle cost. This includes fuel, insurance, all that stuff, as you can see the footnote here. All right, total completed service calls for the past 12 months. One-man show should, be doing a decent amount, but say you're only at 600 for the year. We're gonna use a lower conservative number. Then we're going for the owner's pay, since we've already included that up here because you're a one-man show. You can literally just check this box, ignore that, and it's going to assume that the total for fully burdened tech labor cost is what's included in as the owner's pay. And then calculate your costs. So it's going to show you every month for a $120,000 business, it's costing you $10,000 per month, and your cost per billable hour is 133. Now, we've got a footnote here. This is your pricing method. It shows what one productive hour costs you to deliver. This is also flat rate friendly. So you know that based on an hour and a half worth of time that you're spending, it's costing the company $133 per service call to go somewhere. Now, your cost per service call has been $200. And then your CODB for the year is $120. Now, this is where it gets challenging. You're charging $99, where the recommended service call fee is 220. Now we can change this. Say that you are a larger company and you're doing $90,000 in fully burdened labor. Say you're doing better than the average Joe, right? And then, but your overhead's going to be a little bit more. So say that's 50. And then say you're doing 1,000 service calls in the past 12 months. You'll see how these numbers change. A single one-man show appliance repair company should be at least doing a good 1,000 per year in service calls. So this is telling you, based on the percentages that you entered up here for your actual service call fee and your margin, times 1.5, your service call fee should be $174. Now this is giving you an average. It's going to show you what is recommended, but here you'll see it's 158 is your actual cost of doing business. So every time you start up that van, roll to a customer's house, it's costing the company $158. And then if you scroll down here, you'll see our callback cost impact. Every time you get a callback, it costs the company $158 in additional expenses, and 10 callbacks a month add up to $1,580 in lost revenue. So having a first time complete, first trip complete, whatever you want to call it, is imperative, and it drastically affects how you do business. Now, what does cost per billable hour mean if you're flat rate? We have an explanation here. This is just showing you if a repair takes an hour and a half total time, including drive time, and your billable hour is 120 per hour, that repair must bring in at least $180 just to break even. So what this means for your business, you spend $158 every time a truck rolls. If your service call fee is below that, the business is covering the cost out of pocket. Or you as the business owner, it's out of your own pocket. So a lower first call complete and lower callbacks effectively increase this cost, and each callback costs an additional $158. So that's how you use this calculator. And it doesn't matter if you're a large business with multiple techs or you're a one-man show. This will help get you in that range where you can make some educated decisions. All right, have fun with it. And if you need any help, use the schedule call button at the top. We'll be happy to help you and walk through it and talk to you about this. Thanks.